You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, guys, before we actually get deep into this video, we all need to pray for Adrian Wojnarowski, formerly of ESPN, because word has come down that earlier this year, he was actually diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, apparently they caught it early, so I'm assuming that Woj is going to be okay. But guys, we all know that Woj actually left ESPN in September before the presidential election. Now, this year, when it came to ESPN and this election, they were pretty quiet, guys. I mean, when I say they just stayed out of politics, they pretty much stayed out of politics. Now, of course, like guys like Stephen A. Smith that work for ESPN, they have their own show. Okay. Now, definitely Stephen A. Smith was actually talking about politics, but it was on his own platform doing his own time, not necessarily during working hours at ESPN. Well, guys, Adrian Wojnarowski actually plays a role in this because at the time, he was still working for ESPN. And guess what happened, guys? You guys know, man, that the left, Kamala Harris, they had big time problems to get males to support her. When it came to this election, man, men voted for Trump and they voted for him big. Now, the Kamala campaign was putting out all this fake propaganda, you know, making it think like her campaign was masculine and all that other stuff. No, it wasn't. No one. I mean, the only man that was really supporting her definitely had low T. Okay. Now, Woj actually comes into this because apparently, guys, as you guys can see right here, Kamala Harris' campaign wanted ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski to break Tim Walz's news. So Kamala Harris gets on the ticket via a coup, and then she decides on tampon Tim Walz. She wanted Woj to actually break the news. Why? Well, they were struggling with men. And when it comes to breaking on sports news, Woj was the man. But Woj did not actually break the news. Now, there was no guarantee that this would actually happen because Jimmy Pitaro, man, the president of ESPN, actually sent out a memo. No politics. None. During 2024. You know, guys, that's really, really bad, man. When ESPN won't actually go out there and back a Democrat. You know it's bad, guys. But the Kamala campaign wanted Woj to actually break the news, and it never, ever happened. Now, even if Woj actually did come out and put out a tweet saying that, hey, Kamala Harris has chosen Tim Walz, Minnesota governor, former football coach, in quotations. He's like some coordinator back in high school, whatever. It wouldn't have made a difference, even if ESPN actually said okay. But it never happened. It never happened, guys. So let's go ahead and get into this. It says representatives from Kamala Harris's presidential campaign wanted former ESPN NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski to break the news that she had selected tampon Tim Walz as a nominee for vice president. However, according to a new profile in Sports Illustrated, another outlet scooped him before he could. Wojnarowski, of course, retired from ESPN and left behind a $7.3 million annual salary. A lot of money to leave behind, guys. To assume the role of general manager for the St. Bonaventure men's basketball team in September. And while Walz was a pathetic choice for vice president, breaking the news would have sent Wojnarowski out on quite the bang, or in Woj's terms, the bomb. Granted, he would have had to get clearance from ESPN to break the news. To his credit, ESPN has stuck to sports over the past few months. Outkick reported last month that ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitaro sent staffers a memo reminding them not to discuss the election publicly, a rule that no one, to our knowledge, has disobeyed. Yeah, so Woj, even when he was actually at ESPN, never broke this news. Never did, even though they actually wanted him. Now, why would they actually want him to break the news, really? I mean, he's definitely a sports guy. You know, they definitely want to connect to the sports world. But everything they did when it came to sports, remember on Tampon Tim and AOC were actually doing a live stream with him playing Madden. And it definitely seems like he didn't really know he was doing football. I mean, the image of their campaign actually connecting with men was so bad that they tried to live stream him playing Madden with AOC, of all people. Did you actually really think you were going to get manly men to vote for you? No, it didn't happen, guys. It did not happen. And when it came to sporting events, guys, Trump was all over the place, man. Trump shows up to UFC events and the crowd goes wild. Trump shows up to college football games. The crowd goes wild. I don't think I've ever seen Kamala Harris at any sporting event. None. Remember Biden, there was a video of him, I believe, at the, I can't remember if it was the World Series or something like that, some professional sports game, and he got booed. Yeah. You're not going to get men to actually navigate towards you if you are a Democrat. Just didn't happen, man. I mean, this Kamala Harris Tim Walz campaign was the most feminine campaign we've ever seen, man. I mean, it wasn't even close. So the only reason why they actually wanted Woj was to connect to men. Really? But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. I can't remember exactly when I found out that that she had chosen Tim Walz. I just don't remember. Okay, that's how irrelevant their campaign really was. Now, when Woj was actually with ESPN, and I would see all this breaking news over there on X from him, you know, breaking a whole bunch of things. I mean, this guy was the news breaker. I mean, that's what he's best known for. And when it comes to Kamala Harris, she completely failed. Completely failed, man. What man was going to get excited about Tampon Tim Walz putting tampons in boys' restrooms in schools? What man is going to say that loves sports? That's my guy right there. That's my guy. No one. No one. So this thing completely backfired, guys. Another epic failure for the Kamala Harris failed campaign now. I mean, she got blown out, guys. She got blown out. And I'm willing to bet, guys, ESPN would have told Woj, nah, let's just stick to sports here. Let's not get involved in this election. Because if he did come out and break that, definitely would have been a violation of the mandate put down by Jimmy Pitaro. So, gonna leave it right there, guys. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.